That's it. It's done. We are over one half of 2024. Are you ready? Monday is a new day, new week, new month, new quarter, and the second half of 2024. Are you ready for this? If not, like, subscribe, and let's see the charts. So let's see what the end of June brought us in the broader market. SPY, Q, IWM, Tesla, Nvidia, and many more setups. So don't go anywhere, don't fast forward. All you need to do, sit back and relax. SPY ended up the week under zero. Look at this past week, no price action whatsoever. This doji after previous week's doji, something must be happening here, or the bulls will continue its uptrend above the 550.20 towards the 566 and 586, or bulls will take some time off going on summer vacation, and then the 537 needs to hold the support, and then retesting the lower board of this uptrend channel. Look at this channel, all about channels, Fibonacci channels, trend lines, and Fibonacci support and resistance. The lower board of this uptrend channel from October lows, April lows, and now might get retested once again. July lows, maybe August lows. Look at the middle trend line from support to resistance, but it's a good resistance. Why? Because it's a resistance for higher highs, and as long as the SPY, as long as price is stuck to this dashed trend line, we're heading north. QQQ ended up the week also 0.06 to the downside. Two consecutive weekly very tight dojis, very tight price action. The 471 area needs to hold the support. Below it, 455 will get retested the support. The QQQ also is inside an uptrend channel since October, and now look at this middle trend line. It's all about trend lines, ladies and gentlemen. Trend lines and Fibonacci support and resistance. The middle trend line, support, support, support until April. Broke to the downside, retested the lower board of this uptrend channel. Resistance, resistance, resistance. Middle of June, broke up and above, and now once again as support. Once you know your trend lines, once you know your Fibonacci in trading, you are 85% ahead of the rest of the traders. Dow Jones closed the week with 0.05 to the downside, but overall doji holding above the yellow zone. After 4 consecutive weeks inside the yellow zone, now the Dow Jones managed to close above it. We are still 3 out of 4 time frames on the bearish side. Why? Because basically we have a sideways move. Also the FTI identifies that here we have the 394 area, the 394, 395, very tough resistance. So we are bearish on 3 out of 4 time frames. Let's see another weekly close above the 390, and then everything, in my opinion, will become green. IWM closed the week with 1.3% to the upside, struggling with the yellow zone. The yellow zone is the most important area of support and resistance for price action, and as long as price is inside the yellow zone, no trading zone. All we need to do is wait for another 2-3 days, maybe even another weekly close above the 203 area, and then 205.63 and 210 to the upside. Overall, if we clean the chart a little bit and we use only trend lines, you have this trend line over here for the lower highs, and you have another trend line over here for the higher lows. Look at this, all about trend lines. IWM price action is getting tighter and tighter as the weeks goes by, breaking below, and we are heading back to the 190 area, breaking above, and we are heading above the 211 area, and maybe all the way back, all the way towards the 220, 223 area. Wait until we will get a break above or a break below to see a significant price movement on the IWM. Bitcoin, for the time that I'm recording this video, as you can see, we still have 1 day and 18 hours until the weekly, monthly, quarterly candle will close on the cryptos. And as you can see, you know this trend line. We drew this trend line way back, few weeks back, and it's still holding as support. The low of the week was almost touched. We can be a little more accurate, but it almost touched the trend line, got bounced. We are still under the impression, strong pressure of this double top scenario breaking below, and we are heading back to the 52,600 and then 45 to the downside. Ethereum also, look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 5 consecutive weeks, lower lows, lower highs. 5 consecutive weeks. Doji after doji, except last week. Doji after doji. You don't really see it, but once you zoom out, you can see that Ethereum is also going downside. Look at the monthly, and the monthly we are still, probably the month will end up with an inside monthly candle. As you can see, all this area, the 37, the 3800 is a very tough resistance. Lower highs, higher lows. Where Ethereum is heading? Let me know in the comments below. You can also take Fibonacci. Swing low, swing high. And as you can see, 32.55 is the support. Below it, 28.14. Long continuation, in my opinion, only above 41.20. And then we are heading towards the 5476. Let me know in the comments. You can also take Fibonacci from here. And now you will get more accurate support and resistance into the future. If you want to know how to use Fibonacci and trend lines based on Fibonacci at the most accurate way there is, that it will give you more than 85% accuracy on where price might be heading next, check the links in the description below. Choose your path to financial freedom, whether it's the one-on-one live mentorship program or the online program. Both programs are the same. One is live, one is pre-recorded. Both programs will gain you lifetime access for support, guidance, mentorship from me, no one else. And of course, all Discord channels. Welcome to the Fibonacci Traders Discord. Links in the description below. Yesterday, we took 2 trades. Look at this. We took long on Nvidia 15 minutes after the opening bell. We took Nvidia at 125.17 all the way to 127.50. Yes, for day trading, these 2 points is a lot of money. We took AMD short. We took Shopify short. We took Nvidia short. Pretty nice. 2, 3 trades. Pretty nice. We make money. So check the links in the description below. It's not the usual alert service. We guide each other. We follow each other. We go hand by hand. When to enter, when to exit, how to manage the stop loss, how to manage positions. And we help each other making money. Crude oil, lower highs, higher lows. Price action of crude oil is getting tighter by the week. Now look at this. 618 Fibonacci retracement is the resistance. The 8163 resistance. 7980 is the support. MAGS, the Magnificent 7 ETF, still inside this uptrend. Doji after doji. We had here an engulfing doji. Price action needs to decide whether it goes to the downside for the bearish side or continues up to the upside. Anyway, you can take FTI, put it on your chart, and you will get all the support and resistance for future price action. As you can see, 44 is the support, breaking below, and we are heading back to the 42.43 long continuation, and we will meet 49 and 52 to the upside. SOXX, the Semiconductors ETF we had. Now, lower highs, lower lows on the weekly, 2 consecutive dojis. Now the 236 is the support. Long continuation, and we will meet once again the 260, bearish on 3 out of 4 time frames Only the weekly is under bullish sentiment. It doesn't mean we need to go short. It just means that if you are long on this name, we need to start considering our long position much more carefully. KRE with 5.3% to the upside in the past week, now trying once again to break above the yellow zone. Look at the yellow zone. Since end of January, like a magnet to price action. We need to see continuation, another weekly close above the 49, and then 50, 51 to the upside. Above 51, we can assume with higher probability we are heading back to the 57 and 59 to the upside. XLE, the energy sector ETF, second week with upside, now broke this downtrend. Let's check the trend. Are we out? We're still inside this downtrend channel. Let's see, break up and above. For now, we are waiting for another 2-3 days above the 92.50 area, and then 93 when 89.30 is the support. Microsoft ended up the week with basically no price action, 0.6% to the downside. Doji, trend lines are the most important areas of support and resistance. Look at this trend line. Support, resistance, support, resistance. Now will become once again support. This trend line together with the 441 is the current support. Below it, we are heading back to the 429. Long continuation above previous week's highs, and we will see 474. Apple. Let's remove a little bit the noise. Now, what do we see on Apple? Last week, we saw inside candle. This week, the past week, lower highs, lower lows on Apple. The 208, 206 area, all this area, struggling to hold the support. Downtrend continuation, and we are heading back, retesting the 198 area. The 198 was a very important area of resistance. So by definition, by natural things of price action, this area needs to be retested as support. Not 100%, but as price looks now below previous week's highs, we are heading back to the 198. Nvidia cooling off. If last week we had 4% to the downside, this week 2.4% to the downside. Now the 126, 127 is the resistance, the upper border of the yellow zone. The 115 is the support. Below it, 108 and 100. Nvidia on the daily has this kind of price action. First, you have this gap over here at the 106 area. You have also a gap over here at the 116 area, and the 95.80 also gap. What do we see here? Lower highs, lower lows. If we take out this long-term uptrend channel and we zoom in, look at this. What do we have here? Downtrend channel. Right? We have a downtrend channel. Until proven otherwise. 126, very tough resistance. In the past 4-5 weeks, 122 is the support. Downtrend continuation, and we will meet 117.70. Below it, 104. This was the daily. This is how it looks on the weekly. AMD closed the week with another no movement. AMD, 6 consecutive weeks of dojis inside the yellow zone. Below the 50% retracement, the 164 area, resistance, resistance. The 158, very important area of support. Below it, 151 and 141 to the downside. Netflix ended up the week with a doji, 1.6% to the downside, 2 consecutive dojis. 660 is the support. Below it, 633, 637 is the support. Long continuation above it, and we will see 730 and 781. But if you know price action, if you know how to read candlestick analysis, you know that this kind of price section with lower highs and lower lows on the candles, we might get with a very high percentage, maybe pullback to the 633. Google ended up the week with 1.4% to the upside. You know this trend line. We have been talking about this trend line for many weeks now, and once again went all the way up, got rejected by a Fibonacci retracement, Fibonacci extension resistance, and the trend line. Every time Google reaches this trend line, it's getting rejected, but it's a good resistance because it's a resistance for the higher highs. As long as Google on the weekly is above the 172 area, it will continue to retest this trend line as resistance, and as long it's retesting it as resistance, the way is up. Tesla, 8% to the upside, finally breaking above the 190 area. We have been talking about the 190, 199, 191 area as a very important area of resistance. The Tesla needs to close the weekly above it, and if you follow me on YouTube, you know that I said I'm looking for a weekly close above the 191, and then I will consider going long on Tesla. And here we are above the 191. We went all the way to the 202 area, the 50% retracement from this downtrend, bounce, 50% retracement, look left was a very important area of resistance. Now the 187 is the support, long continuation, and we will meet 217 to the upside. Meta ended up the week with 1.9% to the upside after Friday downside 3%. Now this is the support, the 484 support. It was support over here, resistance, now support, breaking down and under, and we will go retest the 447. 3 consecutive dojis on Meta. Let's see who will win this battle. Bears to the downside or bulls towards the 590 and 666 to the upside. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Where are we heading during July and August? The summer holidays, summer vacation, summertime. Palantir closed the day with 6.25% to the upside, holding above the yellow zone, very important area of support. Now let's see continuation, and we will meet 2750 and 3070. As long as you are above this trend line, the red trend line, and you are above the 23, we are good to go. Palantir to the upside. Of course, everything that you see and hear on my channel is for educational purposes only. Please do your own due diligence. I'm not a financial advisor, and surely nothing here is a financial advice. Shopify, second week in a row with doji inside candle, which means no decision in the market for Shopify. And if the market cannot decide, we surely cannot do nothing. We cannot make decisions. Because the market, we follow market. The market is in indecision. Now, the 6380 is the support. Let's see continuation above last week's highs, and then we will meet this area, the downtrend line, together with the lower border of the yellow zone, the 69 or the 70 area. All this area, it's always an area of support and resistance. It's never an accurate price to the cent. It's always areas of support and resistance. Amazon Friday went down 2.3% to the downside. Overall, closed the week with 2.2% to the upside. Bullish on the daily, bullish on the weekly. Now, let's take Amazon for the last 21 weeks. And as you can see, the 187 area, all this area from resistance. Let's zoom in a little bit. From resistance, now needs to hold the support. Otherwise, back retesting the 182 together with the lower border of the uptrend channel as support. Long continuation, and we will meet once again 200 and 209. AVGO closed Friday with 1.2% to the upside, holding above the yellow zone, but lower highs, lower lows on the weekly. Continuation to the downside, and we will meet 1520 and 1440. Also AVGO, Broadcom have daily gap at the 1500. In my opinion, this gap needs to get filled before the next leg up for the bulls. MicroStrategy closed Friday with 9.7% to the downside. Look at this. Lower highs, lower lows in the past 4-5 weeks, breaking below the yellow zone. We are heading to the 1233 and then 1053. MicroStrategy, same as the Bitcoin. Same as the Bitcoin. Not looking good. Double top scenario of the 1700, breaking below the 1233, 1050, and then back below 1000 to the 830. The same price action we saw over here during February and March. We might get the same price action to the downside. Always prepare for both sides, ladies and gentlemen. Eli Lilly continues grinding up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 consecutive weeks to the upside, and in my opinion, this uptrend will continue the same magnitude as we saw over here. We might get over here, and we are over here because this is the breakout of this consolidation. We are heading towards the 980, and then we might get some kind of a pullback, cool off on Eli Lilly. But once again, this is my opinion only. SMCI 8% during Friday, overall 9.5% during the week. And look at this, we said last week one candle does not change the overall sentiment. Yes, last week, the third week of June, SMCI tried to break above the yellow zone, tried to break above this downtrend line. One candle does not change the overall sentiment. We need to see continuation, and we did not get it. And once again, we are below the trend line. We are below the lower board of this 840 area. Downside, and we will meet once again 740 to the downside. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the top 5 gainers in the past trading day. First, we will check NNOX, nano imaging, with a gap up, overall 10.7% to the upside. But let's check if we did break out of this channel, downtrend channel. Yeah, we broke above it, but as we saw in SMCI, one candle does not change the overall sentiment. We can take the FTI and now take it to the upside. Now what do we see? Yellow zone, 7.3% is the 7.3 is the resistance. Above it, 786. PTGX, also with a gap up, overall closed the day with 8.7% to the upside. Now the 33.85 is the support. Long continuation, we will meet 36. Overall, very nice uptrend with higher lows, higher highs. We can also take trend lines, and the trend lines will show us that PTGX, is heading above the 36 towards the 38 and 41.50. CMA 6.7% to the upside. Now let's take Fibonacci in the last 34 days into the yellow zone. Swing high, swing low into the yellow zone. Long continuation, and we'll meet 52 and 55 to the upside. Bullish on all time frames. SYF, Synchrony Financial, 6.7% to the upside. Broke a channel to the upside, broke the yellow zone to the upside. Now let's see continuation, and we will meet 48, 70, and 50 to the upside. Last but not least, ETNB 89 Bio Inc. 6.2% to the upside. I will wait for this. I want to see continuation above the 880. I will put an alert over here. But overall, maybe the last 2 trading days will make some kind of a bullish sentiment to this name. Once again, thank you very much for watching this video. I do hope you found it helpful, educational. If so, like, subscribe, check the links in the description below. Choose your path to financial freedom. Until the next video, stay safe.